All right, this is horrific. We can stop playing this immediately. Come on, we can do better than that, David. 80 and sunny. We have college football. We have Nebraska going full Nebraska.
Yeah, see, I thought this open was kind of like that game day open where it was going to say all the teams.
I was excited. I thought we had new production.
I'm like, this is just LSU. I like LSU. I think they're the sleeper team.
There's more to it, but we can't play it for 3 minutes.
I suppose. Let's get to the bridge.
Yeah, where's the hook? We have a lot to cover today. We're going to get to Michigan and Michigan State, and it's really just kind of the hell do you take out of any of this? I mean, I think it's two distinctly different things for each team. For Michigan, you're treating it like a preseason game. I think it's pretty clear you're going to be without several starters for this game. It's just about depth. You're favored by damn near 36, 37 points.
You mean by starters get in, get out, or just not playing?
By not playing.
Wow. See, I thought you meant just
no.
Okay.
So they'll get a look at some depth.
Vegas like Mike. No
yeah.
mistakes.
Well, blind squirrel finds a nut. For State, it's different. We'll get to it. I wanted to start, though. We had football last night. And
did we?
Well, a loose definition in the Big Ten West. The Florida-Utah game, I think, look, Utah is everything you want your program to be because they just show up to play. Oh, we lost our star quarterback. Doesn't matter. We're using our second and third string guy. We're going to run our offense. Ludwig does such a good job as their OC. And they just made Florida look stupid.
They did.
Like that's how you want your team to open a season. Now, Minnesota, Nebraska was a struggle. Would that be the word? But I wanted to bring two things up out of last night. Kind of start our Football Friday the right way. One.
Does one start with ha?
One. Somehow Gus and Joel got worse. Somehow Gus and Joel got more fake and phony and cringeworthy and, wait for it, stupid. Some of the interplay between these two low IQ boners is insulting. Gus and Joel are pulling the ultimate grift. Mm-hmm. It is the single worst broadcast team this side of Tim Brando 5 bourbons deep. It is horrific. I don't know how they've accomplished it. I don't know how people like it. I don't know how more people don't watch these games and go, you know what? Bullet to the TV or I'm hitting mute. They got worse.
They did. It was horrific. It was, listening to them was mind-numbing. And, yeah, I just hit the mute button, and I'm just going to watch this game because that was the only way I could do it because they added nothing to the game. No insight.
They don't have insights.
Nothing.
The two of them together, maybe one functioning human brain.
Because
maybe.
Here's the thing.
Awful.
In a game like that, bad football, defensive struggle, good announcers can keep you interested. Good announcers leave you hanging on your seat because you don't know what play, double pass, fumble, throw it for a touchdown is going to happen. These guys just kind of went into club yucks and
that's right. It was all the fake banter. So that was my big takeaway last night. Wow. Gus and Joel somehow got worse. Like produce in the fridge. It ain't going backwards. It is always going to end up rotten. These two stink.
Yeah.
And I can't believe we're stuck with them all year. Now, number 2. This is where you and David come in. This is where I need the two of you and your spiritual prowess. There is no entity in the world of sports in greater need of an exorcism than Nebraska football. It doesn't even matter who the coach is, who the players are, what year it is. Nebraska going full Nebraska. They have now lost their 26th one-score game in the last 5 years. 26 times. And in many of these cases, it's like last night where they're winning. Matt Rule, new identity, new people, Nebraska.
I've never seen a program snatch defeat from the jaws of victory so many times. They find ways. They are the college football version of Can't Get Right, the character from Life. His name was Can't Get Right because they can't get right. You have the lead. You have the ball. The clock is your friend.
That's it. That's all.
Oh, by the way, you have a running quarterback who had almost 100 yards, like 91 yards off of 19 carries.
Who has a horrible propensity as a former triple option quarterback of staring down receivers, making late throws, and having a subpar arm.
Run the ball. If you don't get the first down, you punt it. Minnesota is struggling all evening. Make them go 90-some yards to score a touchdown because the field goal wasn't going to help them.
Is Nebraska the most cursed sports entity out there?
I think so.
It has reached unholy proportions.
I think so. And honestly, this is somehow or another, Bo Pelini got angry, went to New Orleans, got a little voodoo doll, and said, never again. You want to fire me because 9 wins wasn't good enough? You won't get 9 wins combined for the next 9 years.
I mean, Lion fan, you have to look at this team and go, wow, I know their pain. I mean, they have found ways to lose games that I don't even think the Lions have. I mean, short of a man with a club foot beating them, they've accomplished everything else.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
I mean, they had the game.
David,
It's sad.
David, is there a spiritual, what do you do when Nebraska is essentially the Roberto of college football. There is a dark cloud over their head.
I kind of felt bad for them last night. I mean,
but they keep doing it to themselves.
They do, and the game was so bad overall. And I'm like, oh, they can actually win something like this. This is a game they can actually win, and they.
But you know what? The coaching doesn't matter. Nebraska is the restaurant that fails.
Well, I can tell you this:
that no matter what it becomes, it just fails.
Michigan and Michigan State played both of those teams from last night. If either of our teams give up so much as 21 points to those two flea bags, Scotty Hazelton should be duct taped to a rocket and launched into space.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, for all the people who want to say MSU's bad, okay, noted. But watching last night, I mean, you're a Michigan fan. All watching last night showed you was, all right, we're 4 touchdowns better than either of these.
Yeah.
For Michigan State, a lot of people had considered Minnesota, Nebraska, these games where it's like, well, geez, maybe it's a coin flip. Can we get one? I'll tell you right there, laugh away. I don't care. If Mel Tucker can't beat Matt Rule in year 1 or maybe PJ Fleck's worst team I've watched, then Mel Tucker should leave. If those aren't 2 wins, you're not doing your job. Those teams were horrific.
Yeah. And I felt bad for everybody watching because it was a poor representation of the Big Ten.
Oh, it's a perfect representation.
No, I think it's a poor representation of the Big Ten.
Running archaic schemes.
Because the Big Ten is a lot better than that. But unfortunately, you got these 2 teams, and nationally it's like, wow, that's it? Yeah. I would have rather seen Ohio State or Michigan play somebody because at least you could have done. I mean, heck, Joel and Gus would have loved for Michigan to have been out there, but like, guys, this
does anyone
was
like Joel and Gus? There's the question. Look, I'm sorry, as a college football fan, I can watch a lot of broadcasts. There are not many great broadcasters. There are a few more good ones, and then it's a sea of mediocrity. Right at the bottom of the chili pot, like sometimes if you're overheating your sauce or your chili and you get some scald on the bottom of your pot, that scald, that gunk, that grime, that funk, that's Gus and Joel. They need to be deglazed from the bottom of the pan. David, I can't watch them. I can't do it. And it ain't just about when they call a U of M game. I cannot. Last night, I was just watching to watch. It was Big Ten ball. I wanted to see what it looked like. I couldn't believe. The only thing worse than Minnesota, Nebraska as a game was the broadcast. I want to know if you're like, do you actually like these people? Poor Graham Mertz had no shot. You know how bad that O-line was. Number 76, the Bama transfer. Oh, my God, Rico.
You see why Bama wasn't crying when
Florida's O-line is comedy bad.
There was just a series. It looked straight out of the Devin Gardner series against Michigan State where they just kept going backwards.
Yeah.
And he's just looking at his O-line like, guys, hit somebody, please.
I need some help.
Right, help me.
But we'll get to Michigan State. I wanted to throw out the broadcast. And then the Nebraska thing, it's reached like religious curse. There's something in the water in Nebraska. To come away a loser in that game, that's like a 1 in 100 shot. So many things had to go wrong, and for you to do them wrong.
But then for you to do them wrong, I think Doug and Gator were saying like they're 1 in 24 or 1 in 23 in games at the end where they're actually winning. You find ways to lose, and it's like
they had a 94% win probability.
I
yesterday.
said 1 in 100, so I wasn't far off.
You have a running quarterback. You run the ball, and if you don't get the first, you punt it, you get the victory. Because Minnesota couldn't do anything.
It's just further proof, without a rebalancing of these divisions in this conference, we're just doing a disservice in total. I mean, look, it's not fair if you're Michigan or Ohio State or Penn State that you play in the Big Ten East. It's really not. I mean, if you're a Spartan, you could take the same approach. I mean, you're in the hardest division in all of football. But there is no greater imbalance between divisions in football, between the Big Ten East and whatever that's supposed to be in the West.
No.
The Big Ten title game is something that's not even worth going. You're a Michigan fan. Save your money and just go to the playoff. You're going in as a 28-point favorite.
Right. It's a coronation. It's literally like your preseason games or these non-conference games. You know the victory. You show up at the end, you watch them get the trophy in the hat and watch the confetti. You don't have to get there at the beginning of the game.
I just can't help but watch. And look, Florida was a train wreck. I know what Billy Napier's trying to do on offense because I'm familiar with him from Louisiana Lafayette. You know how I feel about Utah. You watch the schemes in that game and then watch what you watched in the Big Ten last night. That's my only point to you. It doesn't mean you're executing a scheme well, but at least you have one.
And the points they left on the board, the double pass was like, man, you just – and I'm like, this is a second and third string quarterback. That tells me you got a great system. You can plug and play.
That's my point. I guess that's part of what I'd like to see out of Jay Johnson at some point in his life. Show me who you are and what you are. Give me an idea of what scheme we're even attempting to run up here. See, that's what I walk away absent from. With Michigan, I know what they want to do. They want to ground and pound.
I've lowered the bar. Just please, God, bring back the touchdown play.
Man, when he said lowered the bar, I thought we were going to get something nuanced. Nope, Rico's dead cat bounced. It's over.
Touchdown play.
That's it.
That's it. I mean,
248-539-9797. David, what is your take here, Gus and Joel, and ticket texters, please?
I watched the second half on mute. I couldn't. I was like Rico. I just couldn't. At some point, I'm like, no, I can't listen to them anymore.
Hey, by the way,
just watch the game.
Hey, here's the other thing. Does Fox have to play fluff pony to Deion Stallion? If you know what I mean.
Every break.
Oh, my God.
Every time they came back with a promo, it was that.
I mean, Jesus, the only thing they stopped short of is like, man, Deion looks great in a pair of denim. He must work out. Like, I don't know what the hell. Like, it's North Korea television. Mm-hmm. Fox is full propaganda. Deion is apparently Vince Lombardi. It's crazy.
I saw it. If I'm TCU, I'm just internalizing all of this.
And listen, if TCU is any good, they drop a bomb on that team. I've talked to you. I think Coach Prime is intriguing. I think he's entertaining. I want to see it. But, man, Fox just shilling it up. You would think he's coming off winning the Super Bowl and has descended to Colorado off a spaceship.
Right. He was Andy Reid, who just happened to go back to college.
Teams are going to put it on them if they get the chance because coaches do not take kindly to it.
No. Icon Deion. We got him at noon.
Just trust me. Any of the former Colorado players get a chance to, okay. Yeah, here's my Louie.
Was that your Gus Johnson, by the way?
No, that was just me just trying to do the promo. I cannot do Gus Johnson. I'm sorry. Can't get that low in my career.
Gus Johnson can't do Gus Johnson. Because the one that used to be all right, now he's just turned into full
ESPN Gus Johnson.
Yeah, he's a caricature. And Klatt, I'm sorry. I mean, what a grift. What a grift.
Klatt is just the smartest guy in the room. He's evolved to that syndrome. Listen to me. I'm good for you. I know it all.
Yeah, I liked last night how they're like, yeah, this guy's never kicked before. So they got to get inside of X to feel good about a field goal. And he's like, he could push it, 44, 45. And then if I factor adrenaline, maybe 47 or 48. I go, oh, I'm sorry, Joe Clatt MD.
Right.
Factoring in adrenaline. Yeah, adrenaline is more likely to make a kicker slip and fall and kick it off of the guy's ass in front of him out of nerves. He's not charging a laser. I can't. It's going to be a long year of Fox Big Noon. If you're a Michigan fan and you like these two, God bless. If you don't, I think you just tune in the radio broadcast.
Well, here's the funny thing. Listening to them talk about Deion, Michigan fans, this is what we heard about you last year. So you kind of get a glimpse of what it's like to have them just drone on and on and on about something you don't care about. And you're just like, guys, there's another team out there. You do realize that. Can you give us anything? Nothing?
No, you'll get nothing and like it.
UAD's home. Right there with Cassius Winston, partner.
He couldn't find UAD with two hands and a flashlight. Just talk to anybody down there.
Somewhere in Detroit.
He ain't ever coming back. Yeah.
Somewhere in Detroit.
Waffles. 248-539-9797.